Taxes. Ugh. Many people dread the thought of yet another tax return. Going through the process of facing the IRS is a daunting task. I mean, admit it. Do you fear the IRS? Who doesn't, right? The thing is, people have this misconception about them. Why? Because their Uncle Joe told them that if they don't pay their taxes, Uncle Sam will come after them. Scary thought, right? Of course, this fear is coming from ignorance. After all, IRS only comes after taxpayers who owe them enough. But we'll get to that later. But you're wondering, how does this apply to me? After all, I'm not in IRS trouble. Ah, I can tell you've been trained in the fine art of question asking. Let me clarify. Just because you're not in IRS trouble doesn't mean you won't be one day or know someone who's currently in IRS trouble. It's an inescapable fact that an estimated 2% of the United States population is in IRS trouble at any given time. So that means that 2 out of every 100 people is being hounded by the IRS for back taxes of some kind. Since we're dealing with the IRS, it's important to note that there are many ways you can end up in IRS trouble. Many people move with the expectation of securing gainful employment only to end up in the unemployment line. Others get married and hope to stay married till death do us part, only to be handed divorce papers. Others enjoy the high times in their businesses so much they conveniently overlook the fact that they haven't paid Uncle Sam. Uh-oh, what to do? What to do? Yes, people have told me stories that will amaze you. One gentleman, we'll call him Jack, owed the IRS big time. By big time, I mean enough money to buy a nice home in practically any area of the country except Manhattan, Silicon Valley, or the San Francisco Bay Area. It was in the neighborhood of $750,000. What's that, you say? You'd never let your debts pile that high, especially not the IRS? Isn't it true hindsight is 20/20? Isn't it also true that we give the best advice to people who are not ourselves? So it's easy to direct someone to solutions we ourselves do not pursue, but I digress. Jack owed the IRS so much money they put a federal tax lien on his home. Since he was unable to refinance his home mortgage, this caused him to be in dire financial straits. And desperate people either take action to resolve their problem or hide. Guess which one he chose? Yep, he hid. So IRS is pursuing Jack for all those back taxes, but Jack tries doing like Will Smith in The Men in Black, using his nifty little memory eraser on the IRS. But that only works in movies. This is real life. Jack forgot that little tidbit. So here he comes, pile of unopened IRS notices in hand, story to tell, and a whole bunch of angry agents threatening to throw him in prison. Here's where we come in. See, since Jack is afraid of dealing with the IRS himself, he hires us and we help him get back on his feet. How do we do this? Simple. We propose possible solutions to his dilemma. Now, we don't slap a boilerplate solution on every potential client. No. We perform our due diligence. This assures the client is properly represented. Since every case is just a bit different from the next, each situation gets a tailor-made solution.